good morning, good afternoon, good to see you again, all right? As you see, today we're just going to look at the revision for trigonometry, whereby we're just going to look at part 2, all right? Then don't forget to subscribe, please, so that we're just going to see what more videos from Mr. Good. All right, okay. Today we're just going to look at part 2 because part 1 we did part 1. Please go and look at part 1 and listen part 1 so that you are just going to be watching left behind. All right. Then part 2 is whereby we normally say that you are just going to look at how to prove the identity and also simplification and also evaluation. Okay. Therefore, we normally say that is falling under part 2. All right. Then here on part 2 is whereby we are just proving the identity. Is very, very important to know how to prove the identity. The question is going to come out, prove that, or the question they are just going to ask you, simplify. They're just going to say, simplify. Simplify the following, or if they don't ask you simplify, they're just going to say that evaluate, okay? Evaluate the following. Then what we're going to do, we are just going to do the simplification. All right, let's go. Then here on the part 2, what is important is to know the equation of of trigonometry. Remember, we normally say that we have the first identity equation, whereby we normally say that we have tan theta, which is normally equal to sin theta over over or cos theta. Okay, and also we have another equation that is important, whereby we normally say that if you are just having sin squared theta plus cos squared theta is going to give you 1. Okay, therefore we call this is a square identity. Therefore the square identity can be changed to the perfect squares. Okay, how? Like if I'm just solving sin squared theta. Theta, we normally say that is going to be equal to 1 minus 1 cos squared theta. Therefore, remember, when I just want the square, the perfect square is whereby we normally say that between two terms, we must always a positive sign. Remember, if I'm just having 1 minus x squared, we normally say this is a perfect square. Why? Is because you can factorize this one like taking out 1 minus x and also 1 plus x. All right. Therefore, we normally say that 1 squared is same as 1. You just drop the exponent, then you take the base is, and also the sign you put it here, then you change the sign. Okay. But if we are just having 1 plus the sin squared, this is not a perfect square, because you cannot able to factorize this sign, because inside between the terms we have a positive sign. That means here we are just going to have 1 minus cos cos theta into 1 plus or cos cos theta. Therefore, that is a factorization of these perfect square. Why is important? Is because here we're just going to prove the identity, whereby we need to simplify this 1 minus cos squared in terms of cos. All right, and also you can factorize cos squared theta, which is going to be equal to 1 minus sin squared theta. Therefore, here what you're going to do, you're just going to open 2 brackets, as you see. Therefore, since we have a minus sign between the terms and also the square, 1 squared is going to be same as 1. Therefore, minus sin squared, and also 1 plus sin theta. Okay, therefore we call this the perfect square of 1 minus sin squared theta. Is very important. Okay, and also here we have a third equation, whereby we normally say that we're just going to look at the double angle of sine. That is very important to know the equation of a double angle of sine. We normally say that the double angle of sine is equals to 2 sine x times or cos x. Okay, and also we have another equation whereby we're just going to look at The double angle of what? Of course. Remember, the double angle of course, we have 3 double angle of course now. Then here, on this question, we need to know which identities that we're going to use here, okay? For example, here we have 3 identities. The first one is whereby we're just saying that we've got it, cos squared x minus what? Sine what squared x, okay? Therefore, and also we have 2 cos squared x minus 1, and also we have 1 minus what? 2 sine squared x, okay? Therefore, here what we're going to do here, we need to know which identity that we normally use when you're just doing what? Prove, because these 3 identities, they are equal, okay? I'm going to tell you how we're going to use this one, how we're going to use this one, and also how can you see this one, we're going to use what? This one, all right? Therefore, and the 5th one is whereby I normally say that you're just going to look at what? The compound angle of what? Of sine, the compound angle of sine. Therefore, remember the compound angle is whereby I just want what? The sum between what? The angles inside what? The equation. Therefore, we normally say that with what? Cos x times what? Cos y, and minus change the sign, it is positive. Therefore, we have what? Sin x times what? Sin y, okay? And also we have the compound angle of what? Of sine. The compound angle of sine, whereby we normally say that we have what? Sin x times what? Cos x. And also we have positive sine cos y, and also for positive sine x, and also we have what? Times what? Cos y, okay? Therefore, these are the equations that we normally use when you're just doing what? Part 2 on the trigonometric function. It's very, very important to know all these what? Equations, because you're just going to use them to solve or simplify or what? Evaluate, okay? Therefore, remember on when you're just solving, it's very, very important to know how to simplify. How to simplify. Okay, let's go. Okay, here they are just dealing always the fraction, okay? Always they are always giving you what? A fraction here when you're just solving what? Part 2, because they know that you don't like solving what? Fraction, and also you don't understand what? How to solve what? Fraction, okay? But today we're going to understand we have how we're going to solve what? A fraction. Remember the fraction, we normally say that is one part to what? A numerator and also what? A denominator. Any sum that's about the numerator and also denominator, we call it what? A fraction, all right? Then the first rule, I'm giving you the first rule. The first rule is whereby we are just going to look at what? The trig function without the sign between what? Between the terms, okay? Like for example, the first rule is whereby we are just going to look this. Sometimes they are just going to give you the fraction like this one. They are just going to say x times xy times x squared all over what? X raised to the power of 3 and also what? Y, okay? Trigonometry is about what? Algebra. If you don't know how to simplify the algebra, you cannot able to simplify what? A trigonometry, okay? Therefore, it's very, very important to go and look what is the simplification from grade 7 and also grade 9 and grade 10. How you simplify what is the algebra there. Like for this example, do you see we have only one fraction here? Then this fraction, what we're going to do, we are just going to simplify and solve what? A value of x and y, okay? What is happening here? It's very simple. We are just applying what? The rules of what? Of laws of exponent. If we are just having a fraction without the sign on top, you see we don't have what? The sign which is positive and also what? Negative and also positive. Then what you're going to do here, we are just going to use what? The laws of exponent. Remember, the laws of exponent say that if you are just having what? A same places, if you multiply the same places, you just take only one place, then you add what? The exponent. 2 plus 3 equals what? 5. Okay? Therefore, that is the laws of exponent. And also, If you divide the same bases, you just take on one base and you separate what? Exponent. 3 minus 2 equals what? 1. Therefore, that is the rule that you're going to apply here. Let's go. Then here, what you're going to do, we are just going to say that we have what? X and X. These are the bases. They are just what the exponent, which is 1. Then what you're going to do, you are just going to take only one X. Then you add what? The exponent. Then you add the exponent. Therefore, 1 plus 1 plus 2 equals what? Equals 4. Then we have y doesn't have what? The base, okay? And all over here we have x to the power of what? Of 3. Therefore, here we're going to have what? 1 plus 2 plus 2 equals what? 4. Then 4y over what? Over x cube y. Okay? Then after that, you apply the rule of exponent. The rule of dividing the exponent say that if you divide the same base, you take one base, then you separate the exponent. 4 minus 3, and also 1 minus 1. Because of 1 and also 1. Okay? Therefore, here we're going to have x to the power of what? Of 4 minus 3 equals to 1. And 4 minus 1 is equal to 0. Any number raised to 0 is equal to 1. Therefore, the answer is going to be equal to what? X. Okay? It's worthwhile just to watch the simplification. Okay? Then on grade 12, they're just taking these variables. You see x and y. They're just replacing with what? The sign. Then sin x times sin x times cos x, and also sin squared x all over what? All over sin cube x times cos x. Okay? Alright, here what you're going to do here? They're just asking you simplify. Do you see this value of sin x is replacing with this x? Sin x is this x, and cos x is this one, and sin squared x is x squared, and also sin cube is this one, and x. Then now we are just doing what? The same what? Laws of what? Of exponent that we did here from grade 10, okay? That is the trigonometry is just asking you, do you know how to simplify? If you don't know how to simplify, then you cannot be able to simplify the trigonometry. Therefore, as you see here, what you're going to do, you're just applying what? The laws of exponent. Since here we have 1 and also 1 here, and also we have 2 here, what you're going to do, you're going to take only one sin x, then you add to the exponent. 1 plus 1 is 2, 2 plus 2 equals to 4. Therefore, what is sin to the power of 4x, then times what? Cos x, all over, then sin to the power of 3x, times what? Cos x. Okay, now what you're going to do, you use the laws of exponent of division. Then what you're going to do, you're going to take only one base, then you subtract what? The exponent. Then sine and sine are the same. You take only one sine, then you subtract the exponent. 4 minus 3 equals what? 1. Okay, therefore we have sine x. Then cos and cos, they are just going to manipulate each other because we are just going to have what? 1 minus 1. Any number raised to 0 equals what? 1. Therefore, the answer is what? It is sin x. Okay? Therefore, that's the first rule whereby we are just what? The sign without what? The fraction. If you have a sign without the fraction, then what you're going to do, you're just going to use what? The laws of exponent to collect what? The like terms. After that, you are just going to be able to find what? The solution as it is. Okay? Then rule number 2 is whereby we are just having out the signs now between what? The terms. Rule 2 here is whereby we are just what? The signs now with what? The terms. Like for example, let's start with grade 10's work. Okay? Like example, they're just going to say that the what? X squared plus x all over what? X plus 1. They are just saying that simplify. You don't do manipulation here since you are just saying what? A sign between the terms. What is important is that we are just going to look at what? A common factor, because we have what? The same what? Same what? Variable. Then what is the common factor here? The common factor here on top is x into what? X plus what? Plus 1. All over what? X plus what? Plus 1. Then I normally say that the number, the expression that is on the denominator is always the factor of a number that is on the numerator. It's very, very important. Do you see this now? X plus 1 is the factor of what? Of a number on top. After taking out the common factor, we normally say that this one is going to manipulate this one because it's the same. And also what? A multiplication sign between what? X and what? And X and the number that is inside the bracket. Therefore, now we're going to left with what? X. Okay? Do you see? It's very simple. Then on grade 12, then you don't what? A algebra, but you are just doing what? A trigonometry. They're just going to replace here with what? With the sine squared x plus what? Sine x. All over what? Sine x plus what? Plus what? Then they're just asking you simplify here. Some of you, they're just going to change this one. What's wrong? Because the rule says that if you are having what? A positive or negative between the term, what you're going to do? You look at what? A common factor. What is the common factor here? The common factor is sine x into sine x plus what? 1. All over what? Sine x plus 1. Therefore, this one is the same now with what? Sine x plus 1. Therefore, this one is manipulate each other. Therefore, we left with what? Sine x. That is an algebra from grade what? Grade 12. What? A trigonometry is very, very important to note that. Then the third one is whereby they're just asking you, do you know how to factorize a quadratic? A quadratic, the third rule. Do you know how to factorize what is a quadratic? I don't know. You know how to factorize, but make sure that you know how to factorize what is a quadratic equation, okay? Therefore, what is going to be happening here is going to be what? Negative 3. All over what? All over OX minus all over OX minus 3. Okay, yeah. Then here they're just asking you simplify this one, okay? What you're going to do here is minus 2x minus 3 all over x minus 3. Okay. Therefore, I normally say this denominator is always telling you that we have a factor on top. Therefore, remember this is a what? A quadratic expression. Then what you're going to do here, we are just going to open what? 2 brackets. Then we have x and also 3 and also 1. I'm not going to teach you how to factorize this one. Maybe I'm going to do the video of factorizing. Okay, then I'm going to tell you what the method that I use here. Okay, then after that we're going to find what the value, the middle sign is negative. That means it's just going to be what? On the larger value of what? Of x. Then here the sign is telling us the signs are no longer the same. Since I put negative here, I'm going to put what? Positive. All over what? X minus 3. Okay, therefore now this one is going to manipulate this one. Then we have x plus 1. Okay, then we left with x plus 1. Then on grade 12, what they are going to do, what they are going to say to you, they are just going to say that we have sine squared x minus 2 sine x minus 3. Then all over sine x minus 3. Then they're just asking you prove or simplify this side. Then what you're going to do, you're just going to say that we're watching open bracket, we have sine x plus 1 and also sine x minus 1. Open bracket minus 3. All over what? Sine x minus 3. Therefore, this one is going to manipulate this one. Therefore, we left with what? Sine x about 1. Okay. Then, what I'm just trying to show you here is that trigonometry is about simplifying. If you know how to simplify, you can able to to solve the trigonometry. Make sure that you go to grade 10. Then ask some for simplification. Then so that you're just going to able to do the simplification. All right. Let's go now. Let me take the question now. On grade 12, as you know that you're just doing what? A double angles and also the compound angle. All right. What you're going to do then is whereby we normally say that you're just going to look at what now? An angle inside the angle like 3x and also we have sine, and also you can have sine, and also we have sine. I want to do this one. I want to show you something that is nice and true here. And I like sine. Okay. 6x. Okay, like this one. Okay. All right. Here, as you see, we have sine 3x and also sine 4x and also sine 7x and also sine 6x. Okay. What you're going to do here is whereby they are just asking you what the double angle and also what the compound angle. All right. Therefore, it's very, very important to know how we're going to use what is the double angle, how we're going to use what is, and the compound angle is very, very important. How? See, remember we have two numbers in mathematics. We have two numbers whereby we're just talking about the odd numbers, okay? We have an odd numbers, and also we have an even numbers, all right? It's very, very important, this one, okay? Then here, we have an odd number. The odd numbers, we normally say that are those numbers that have two factors, whereby we normally say that is 3 and also 5 and also 7 and also 9 is odd number, then 11, okay? Then some of the odd number, the first odd number that we normally use are this one, okay? And also we have an even number. The even numbers whereby we normally say is 2 and 4 and 6 and also 8, okay? Therefore, we normally say that if an angle is an odd number, you see, if an angle is an odd number, they are just asking you what is a compound angle. Put it here in your mind. If an angle is an odd number, they are just asking you what is a compound angle. How? Like, for example, do you see this one is 3? 3 is an odd number. 3 is an odd number. Then what you're going to do here, we are just going to say this 3x is equals to what? Sine 2x plus x. Do you see with what there? We have a compound angle of what? Of sine now. This one is going to be equals to what? Sine 2x times what? Cos x plus what? Cos what? 2x times what is sine x. Then now you know what is sine 2x, the double angle, and you know what is cos what is 2x. Okay, you can able to simplify. And also here, do you see this one? It is a what? It is an odd number. What you're going to do here, sometimes is whereby they're just asking you, they prove whereby we have an angle which is going to be what? 5x, like for example, like this one here. They're just going to say that prove or solve here. If we are just saying what is sine 5 what x on the denominator. Do you see on the denominator we still have what an odd numbers? What you're going to do? We are just going to try by all means to solve this one to have what the same angles on the denominator. Like this one, I'm just going to say we have sine into what? Into 5x plus 2x. Why is plus 2x? Because 2x we know the double angle of what? Of 2x. That means we're just going to try by all means to solve this angle by putting what? A double angle inside, okay? And also over what? Over sine what? 5x. Then do you see now we've got a common angle. Then you can do what? A common angle sine, then you correct the like 10, then you do your stuff, okay? But now, even angle, it is an even number. As you see, we have 2, 4, 6. 4, 6 is an even number. They're just asking you what is the double angle of this sine. Okay, like sine 6x equals to what? Equals to sine 2 times 3x. Okay, do you see? 2 times 3 is equals to what you see. Therefore, that is the double angle of what now? Sine 3x times what? Cos x. Okay? And also, if you are just saying what? Sine 4x, they are just asking you what the double angle of sine is just going to be equal to what? Sine 2 into 2x. 2 times 2 is equal to what? 4. Therefore, you can change this one to what? Sine 2x times what? Cos x. Then you know this compound angle. the information here is that very, very important to note that if an angle is an odd number, they're just asking you what the compound angle. If an angle is an even number, they're just asking you what the double angle of what of sine. Okay, it's very, very important. All right. Okay, let's go. Then now I'm doing the revision with you. Okay, let's go now. Let's go. Let's go. Let me take one sum and put it here on the board. Thank you. Example as you see, simplify the following, okay? As you see here, we are just having what's the reduction formula. Remember, when I just talk about the reduction formula, we normally say that those formula that we normally use, whereby we are just reducing what the angle that is greater than what 90 degrees. And also reduction formula, they are just telling us about what the quadrant, okay? Therefore, we know the reduction formula on part 1. I teach you the reduction formula on part 1. We normally say that we have 4 quadrants. All students take what? Take coffee. Therefore, here we normally say that of theta, and also here we have what? 90 minus what? Theta, and also here we have 90 plus theta. Is very important to have this formula on your head. And also 180 minus theta. Here we have 180 plus theta, and also here we have 360 minus what? Minus theta, and also have a negative what? Angle. All right. Therefore, we normally say here when we're just talking about this sum, we need to make sure that this amount of angle, it is an acute angle, not an angle that is greater than what? 90 degrees. Then how are we going to reduce this amount of angle? By using what? This what? Reduction what? Formula. Okay, as you see here, we have 180 plus x. 180 plus x is quadrant number 3. Therefore, how sine of quadrant number 3 is positive or negative is what is negative. Then we're going to say that of negative x. Okay, negative sine x. Okay, therefore, since quadrant number 3 sine is what is negative, only time that is what? Positive. Okay, after that here we have times, then we have cos 330. Cos 330, we normally say that is on quadrant number 4. Okay, remember quadrant number 4, cos is what? It is positive. All right, therefore, then that means that cos is going to be what? Positive. Then we have cos. We need to reduce this amount of angle. How are we going to reduce this amount of angle? You need to find what is the acute angle that you're going to subtract. The formula says that 360 minus what? Minus an acute angle. Because theta is always less than what? 90 degrees but greater than what? 0 degrees. Theta is an acute angle, always an acute angle. Therefore, here we need to find the angle that is an acute angle that is going to minus 306 and get what? And get 330. How? Like we're going to say we have 360 minus what? 310 and 30. Then 0 minus 0, 0. 3, 6 minus 3, it is 3, then 3 minus 3, it is what? Therefore, that means that the acute angle that we're going to put here, it is 30. 360 minus 30 equals what? 330. Therefore, we just having what? Cos 30 degrees. Okay? And also here we have tan 130. Tan 150, 150 is on quadrant number 2. Therefore, what's tan on quadrant number 2? It is negative. Therefore, we have tan. We would have tan. Then what we're going to do now? We're going to find an angle that we're going to minus on what? On 180 and get 150 is going to be what? 30 again. 180 minus 30 is going to be what? 150. Okay. After that, what we're going to do? We are just going to divide by what? Divide by sine what is sine x. Then now, the angles are less than what? Are less than 90 degrees are the acute angle. Then after that, you see we have a multiplication between the time. Do you see have a multiplication? You don't have a sign. You don't need to take out the common factor. You need to use what? The laws of exponent. Okay? All right. As you see here, we are just having sine x and also what? Sine x here. Then what you're going to do? We are just going to say this one is going to manipulate this one, okay? The laws of exponent, okay? And also, we'll learn what it cos 30 and also what it tan 30. Okay, what's going to do here? Remember what I said? I said that when we're just seeing what it tan theta and NN. Theta is an acute NN. This acute NN is going to be equals what? Sine theta over what? Over cos theta. Always. All right. Therefore, as you see here, we are just having negative time. Negative is going to give you what? Positive. This one. Negative time, negative, positive. Then we left with what? Cos 30 degrees times tan 30 is going to be equals what? Sine 30 degrees over what? Over cos 30 degrees. Okay? Therefore, now remember when you're just solving like x times 1 over x. Therefore, what you're going to do, this one is going to manipulate this one. Then the answer is going to be 1. Okay? Then like 3 times 1 over 3. This one is going to cancel this one, then we left with 1. Okay? Do you see we have cos 30 degrees and also cos 30 degrees are the same? Therefore, this one is going to manipulate this one. Then we left what in sine 30 degrees. You cannot do what in a trigonometry if you don't know how to simplify. Okay. All right, but we are just saying that simplify full. Then sometimes we're going to ask you simplify full or princess. How's it?
I'm here, sir. I'm here.
Go.
No, right. Is it? Can I do this tournament for the week? No, right.
Move. You scared us.
I might touch your blue squad for once.
Okay, let's go. Then let's go. DRS, did you do the video? You see, you don't know how
I know.
See, put it. Okay, let's do it. Okay, as you see now, we have cos theta is going to manipulate this cos theta. Then we have what is sine theta, and sine 30 degrees. Okay, therefore, this sine 30 degrees, if they just simplify full, then you need to solve the sine 30 degrees by using what? Your triangles on part 1. Going over part 1, okay? Part 1, we normally say that we're plotting a triangle that is what is 60 degrees and also 30 degrees and also 2 and also what is root 3 and also 1. Definition of sine says that opposite over hypotenuse. Then we SOHCAHTOA. The definition of what? Of the trig ratios, okay? SOHCAHTOA. All right. Therefore, sine is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. Opposite is what? 1 over 2. Okay? Therefore, that is all about what to simplify full when they're just asking you. Sometimes they're going to ask you simplify to the symmetric ratio. This is a symmetric ratio, as you see, then you finish. All right. Thank you. Let's prove now. Pause, Kiara. How to prove, okay? Therefore, it's very important to know that when I'm just proving, is whereby we're just going to choose only one side, then that side is going to simplify to be the same as what is the other side. As you see here, we're just having what is the left-hand side and also what is the right-hand side. But we normally say that we always prove the side that have what is a lot of signs and also what is trig ratios, okay? Therefore, that side needs to be simplified so that it's just going to be look the same as what is the right-hand side. As you see, the first thing that is important is to write down what is the side. To write down what is the side down what you choose. Like left-hand side, like this one, left-hand side, then you write down the side, cos x as it is, 1 plus sine x plus what? Tan x. Okay, then after that, you solve by step, okay? You change the trig ratio by step, then so that you're just going to be confused, okay? Therefore, what is the first step? What do you know here on this cos x over 1 plus sin x plus tan? Which trig ratio that you know that you need to change it? Which equation that I teach you at the beginning of the video that is just going to use here is to change what is the tan x. You see, Anything now, the other thing you're just going to say is going to remain the same. 1 plus what is sine x. You're just going to change it. Tan x is going to be what is sine x over cos x. It's very, very important when you see a tan x or tan theta or tan ml, you are just going to change that tan into what? Sine over. We're going to get what? 1 mark of changing what? The tan. All right. After that, now we have what to do fraction. Remember, when you're just talking fraction, we normally say that you need to take out what is the LCD, okay? Therefore, the lowest common denominator is going to give you what 1 mark, okay? The LCD, we normally say that you draw the horizontal line, then you take your denominator. Do you see how the denominator? You take your denominator, you put it inside the bracket like this one, okay? And also you take another denominator, we have what it calls a cos sign like this one. Therefore, is 1 mark. So take out the lowest, because this is the lowest common denominator. You take all what your denominator, you put it inside the bracket, okay? After that, it's very simple. What you're going to do, this 1 plus sine x is going to manipulate this 1 plus sine x. It's going to cancel, okay? Here on this step. Then after that, you learn what cos x. Cos x times cos x is equal to what? Is equal to cos squared x. X times x is equal to, oh, that's the laws of exponent. Cos x times cos x is going to be equal to cos squared x plus it. Then we have this cos x is going to manipulate this cos. Then we have to 1 plus sine x. 1 plus sine x times sine is going to be equal to what? Sine x times 1 plus sine x close bracket. As you see. After that, the second rule, you solve on the numerator. That's the second rule. You solve on the numerator. Remember that you're solving, you remove what in the bracket first. It's very, very important to remove what in a bracket, okay? As you see here, we're just going to have what? Cos x plus what? Sine x plus sine squared x. Sine x times 1 is equal to sine x. Sine x times sine squared is going to be equal to, then all over what? All over 1 plus sine x into cos x. Okay. Then after that, what you're going to do now? You're going to collect the like terms on the numerator. You're going to collect what in the like terms on the numerator. Therefore, remember, cos squared x plus sine squared x is going to give you what? 1. Okay, cos squared x. Cos squared x plus sine squared x is going to give you what? 1. Therefore, all over 1 plus sine x into cos x. Okay? Therefore, here we have 1 plus sine x. Cos squared x plus sine squared x is equal to 1. Then 1 plus sine x over what? 1 plus sine x, then into cos x. Okay? As you see now, we don't have this the same as we are in the bracket. This one's going to manipulate this one. Then we left it 1 over cos x. Then after that, to make a conclusion, left hand side is equal to what? Right hand side. Okay? That is how you solve what? How to prove what the identity. You need to choose the side. After that, you need to simplify that side to look the same with what another side. It's about solving, simplifying. We have part 2 whereby we are just need to what? To solve and simplify, evaluate by using what? Your trig equation or your trig identity equation. Remember, I give you what? 5 trig identity, a ratio identity whereby you have time, and also square identity, and also a double angle identity, and also a compound angle of identity. Then I also explain how can you see this is the double angle of identity, how we're going to change this one to the compound angle. Then when you're just having something like this, okay? Then I'm going to do more videos for simplification because those are just having what a lot of marks, okay? Therefore, make sure that you subscribe so that you're going to see what more videos. Tomorrow we're going to look at what a general solution, okay? A general what solution is very, very important to attend tomorrow, okay? Good night. Good to see you again. Don't forget to share and also